Anytime you're ready. Just don't keep me waiting.
Alrighty, we back at it. Now we just spoke with Dor, who gave us some lock picks, and I'm not much of a lock picker, but well, is that what she gave us? Because I'm not actually seeing anything she gave us. Oh no, Telvanni Bugmusk, which is going to be very useful to our crap personality character because we've got 2 of them now, which is awesome, right? So we did a little bit of a poll, a little bit of a snap poll, a couple hours I posted ago about what are we going to do tonight? What do we want to talk about, right? And almost overwhelmingly so, we are heading back to Caius now that we have faffed around. We are 8 days in, and it was determined by the fate of polling that we are going back to Vardenfell to talk to Caius, and we're going to start the main quest. Now that we've got to know all of our fellow blades, so we shall explore Andathrin another time. But I think our chap, is primed and ready for his first dungeon. Being level 2 and all. Building the world, old games used to say. Ultima. Or, talk about an old throwback, reticulating splines. If you know, you know. So actually, it's 11. So we are going to find some shelter here, first and foremost. Yeah, we need to find a room. We'll go back to Caius tomorrow. Yeah, we're tired. That's a trader. Bookstore owner. That's a council club, so we don't really want any part of that if we don't have to. You know what? We won't cause any trouble. Let's take a look. Yeah, right off the bat, not a great vibe. Although there's an Imperial Legionnaire, it looks like. So, okay. If there's an Argonian Legionnaire, I think we're going to be okay.
The name's Doreen. This is the council club. We've got beds and drinks and whatnot. But I reckon you might want to go someplace else, Outlander. Some guests will play the game of 36 with you downstairs, if that's why you're here.
No, we'll take a bed.
Want to stay here, huh? Well, all right. The room's 30 drakes.
Look at that. 3 times the price of what normal rooms are, but
Thanks
we're tired.
Outlander. The room's downstairs.
So let's take it.
Always open.
Yeah, you seem real welcoming. You guys seem like a real welcoming sort.
I reckon you might want to go someplace else, Outlander. Some guest will play the game of 36 with you downstairs if that's why you're here.
Game of 36?
It's a dice game. I've only ever seen Outlanders lose here, but feel free to try your luck.
Okay. Pub game. Is it time for a meal? It is. We're hungry.
You might want to go someplace else, Outlander. Some guests will play the game.
Take our aromatic stew.
If that's why you're...
So we're already 60 gold down now, man. Hope we don't get fucking robbed here. Again, there's a Legionnaire, so I don't feel as bad about this, but yeah. Not the most welcoming. There's our room door. It'd be nice if we had a spell of lock right now. Okay, yep, and nothing happened. use those hammers up real quick, didn't it? And then we'll sell our drawings to the trader. Hopefully that'll make up for our night here in the council club.
You talk too much, Outlander. Take a look around, Outlander. I've got something for everyone.
You have literally nothing that I care about, so we'll just sell our drawings. I think we're keeping Vivek Sunrise. Wow, we're up to 8 gold on these. Wow, even with Silver Tongue. We're getting to be pretty damn good, aren't we? A shipwreck we can sell. 6 fishes in the morning we can sell. Bad diplomacy we can sell. Passage of prayer we can sell. Dog shit we can absolutely sell. That was just a bad sketch. Ministry from the Shore I want to look at. Castle in the Mist we can sell. I think these are the 2 I want to keep for now. Vivek Sunrise and Ministry from the Shore. Let's take a look at those. And let's ask for 50. Let's be bold. Cool. Okay.
I'm listening.
Very cool. We're starting to get good with our paintings. Yeah, we're keeping that. That's really, really neat. The Ministry from the Shore we can sell. And Vivek Sunrise, I think, is our current masterpiece right there. I think that's our current masterpiece. Either that, the 2 ministries are really good. Now, Ministry from the Shore, I think we can... Yeah, I like the contrast on that one, but Ministry from the Shore will sell.
I've got something for everyone.
One of the other 2, we're going to hang up. Ministry from the Shore. Yeah, those are both really good. Brooke, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome in. We are selling some of my paintings. Let me show them off again in case you just got here. So there is Vivek from Ebonheart. We painted that. And then Vivek Sunrise, I think, is my masterpiece. That one right there is very nice. So, you know, actually, we're going to keep Vivek Sunrise. We're going to sell the other one, too.
I've got something for everyone.
Because we can always come back and rebuy them if we really want them. Yeah, because he's still got all my stock, which is cool. Yeah, Vivek Sunrise is too fucking good. How's your week been? All right, now we heading home.
You talk too much, Outlander.
Yes, I haven't said a word to you. Why are you being so rude, dude? He's like, you talk too much. He's like, I didn't say one word to you, bro. You'll never guess what I did last night. Let me try. Okay, I'm going to say that you watched the hit TV series Hannibal. Where did I pull that from? My ass. But no, I'm honestly not sure. What did you end up doing last night? That said, if you haven't watched Hannibal and you have the stomach for it, watch Hannibal. It's really fucking good. It's like really good. Like really, really, really good. But you gotta have a special stomach for it, because it is one of the grisliest things you'll watch on TV. Like, I watched that, and I'm still confused as to how that made it onto television. I'm not gonna lie. It was on, like, regular-ass cable TV. Not HBO, not, like Regular ass TV.
I'm a busy gal, so if you could hurry this up.
I can take you to Old Ebonheart or Tane aboard my ship Summer Lightning for a small fee. I can also take you to Vivid City if Vardenfell is your destination.
Yeah, let's go to well, we want to go to Ebonheart. You know, we're gonna head back there because we're heading back that way, heading home. Ah, you wrote a letter to RFK Jr. Okay, all right. Was it healthcare related? What was the contents of the letter? Oh no, don't hit the island. Oh, that was close. They about smacked that island, man. I don't know if our ship guy is drunk. How's our needs doing? We need to drink a sip of water. And into the fog, that inner sea fog, man. Yeah, you're right though, Brooke. In a million years, I never would have guessed that. 100% right. I never would have guessed. Wrote it because I'm a huge fan of the Kennedy family. Yeah, Kennedys are like old school history, right? Like they're yeah, my grandmother's favorite president was JFK. Like she loved JFK. Who's your favorite Kennedy? Look at this dude with the look at this dude's longbow. He's got an enchanted longbow. He's just hanging out like a boss on the ship. Look, that cliff racer wants to start some shit. You know he wants to start some shit, right? These guys are motherfuckers all over. JFK and RFK, yeah, so the bros. Yep. The bros. The brosives. I forget the name of the I just watched a movie that was about the Kennedys. It was all about it was the lead up to I think it's like 7 days or something. It's like the lead up to the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? Is what it is. Very, very cool movie. You kind of got to see, dramatized, of course, but you got to see what the lead up to that ended up being and how they navigated it and all the background stuff that went on there. It's like 7 days or 72 hours or something is the name of the movie. Yeah, I watched that a couple months ago. Pretty good. All right. We back. Old Ebonheart looking good. Or not New Ebonheart, we mean, sorry. Also got the load order thing fixed, so there won't be that giant tear in between Vivek and Satanine and Pelagian now, which is cool. God, I love this overhaul. The Ascadian Isles overhaul is just so good. It's so poggers, as the kids like to say. Yeah, please get this way. Okay. Again, you get lost here again because it's almost an entirely different atmosphere, right? Hope to mail my letters sometime next week when the weather is not bad. Maybe hear back from RFK Jr. Yeah, that'd be cool if you heard back. You got to tell me if you hear back from him. That'd be super cool. Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, keep heading this way. Wonder if Nels Lindo, is he back from his piss yet? He's getting closer, but nope, he's not quite back yet. He's still just relaxing, his back turned to us. You know what, though? Fuck it, we're gonna confront him.
I will listen, Outlander, but make it quick. Greetings, my friend. It is I, Nels Lindo.
Hello, Nels Lindo.
Ah, I see you have heard of me. I am not surprised. No, do not tremble in fear. Nels Lindo is a reasonable man, hardly the cutthroat some would make me out to be. I offer you a fair and healthy proposition.
Ah, this ought to be good.
A very simple proposition, actually. You will give me 50 septims, and in return, you will be allowed to continue safely on your journey. Nels Lindo gives you his word as a gentleman that, once our transaction has taken place, you have nothing to fear from me. In fact, I can be a very good friend to have. What say you?
No, I will not abide your thuggery.
I fear you are making an unwise decision, my friend. But so be it. Though I hate to soil my clothes with your blood. No matter. Such is the life of Nels Lindo.
Let's see, draw, fiend. Well, some of this stuff is going to get us some money, so we're going to take what we can. Again, we're a little less honorable than our paladins, so I have a lot of heroes, not just Elvis. Yeah, like I said, you kind of combine my dad and my grandma there, because my grandma loves the Kennedys, like she's a big fan of the Kennedys, and my dad is just loves and is obsessed with Elvis. So yeah, he reads all the books and everything. So yeah, no, I am not in unfamiliar territory with either of those. What are some other ones? What are some other folks you like a lot?
You risk your neck coming here.
Save your threats, pal. Stop by Bestian, see if we can sell some of this shit off. Go ahead. You started this conversation. People do not like me. Like, I really need to up my personality game with this character, man. We're gonna practice sketching on him, though. We're gonna do some sketches. I'm gonna ask for his full gold, actually. Well, not his full. He's not gonna give it to me anyway because he fucking hates me. This isn't going to help him not hate me. There we go. Well, hopefully this will be a way for us to get along, buddy.
Let's hear it, Dunmer.
Yeah. Here, I've got a painting for you, sir. Here, 10 gold. Thank you. He liked it. See, we're making friends. See, Anne Sullivan, her teacher, I'm not as familiar with Anne, wait, Anne Sullivan, her teacher. Wait a second. I should know who that is. That name actually sounds familiar. I was going to say I'm not familiar with them, but the name sounds familiar. That's going to drive me crazy now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to Google that now. Helen Keller, yes, okay, yeah. I was gonna say I thought that name sounded familiar. Helen Keller, that's what I. Yep, exactly. Okay, got it. That's a hell of a story. Now, that is one hell of a story. Our fucking athletics is about to overshadow armor, even. Just because of all the running. It started at like 10, so athletics has really come a long way just because we've trekked all over the fucking map, man. Like, literally all over. Somebody's got to do something about this here tree, man. Like, what rude asshole chopped that tree down and left it in the middle? Probably nobody. It probably was a storm or something. It adds flavoring, but I just don't like going around it because I'm lazy. Yeah, Anne Sullivan, her teacher. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Read the other comment above Anne Sullivan. Yeah, I have a lot of heroes, not just Elvis. Yeah. That's what I was Googling, was Anne Sullivan, but then Helen Keller basically told me. So, yeah, we're good there. Because I'm like, wait a second, I know that name. And yeah, it's Helen Keller's teacher. Because I definitely know who Helen Keller is. I love how Helen overcame her difficulties. Yeah, just imagine being born. Can't see, can't hear, can't speak. Ooh. And to overcome that is just absolutely heroic thing. Very cool. Very cool story. Have at you. Have we gained 1 fucking point of destruction? We're close, but man, magic level's up slow in this game, man. Holy shit. Does magic level up slow? And because of our, willpower, we can't even train Magicka right now, man. And then we're peckish, so we need to get something to eat. Time is it? 1 p.m. Let's see if we fixed this yet. I've been playing with load order. We fixed 1 tear. I'm hoping we fix this shit too, but this is a harder one to fix, it seems like. Nope, still haven't fixed it. Yep, it's still half buried in fucking ash. With a gigantic fucking step and a floating torch. That's awesome. Yeah, and then some of the battlements are not terrible. But definitely looks like a little bit of an earthquake, doesn't it? At least this is still showing, which is good.
What's this about?
But yeah, we'll have to play with the load order some more. I hate to play with it much more, though, because there's no land tears now. And land tears are what I absolutely can't tolerate. I can tolerate having to do a hill giant step to get up to Fort Moonmoth. That I can tolerate back there. Like, we're good if that's the worst thing that happens. We're good to go. We're gravy. What I can't abide is landscape tears. Like, that shit just whips you right out of the fucking world. Especially where that fort is. It's right on a Foyata. So it's possible if there was a little bit of activity, a little bit of shakies from a little bit of a land shift in with Red Mountain. Like, you can explain it, right? As a kid, I watched her and everything I could get my hands on about Helen Keller, and even tried to learn sign language with my hands like Helen. Basic sign language, yeah, and you can learn basic sign language. It's not now. Some of the more detailed and complex sign is really, like, you have to really dedicate to it. Like the people that do like the translations on like speeches and stuff, like they're like another level of like hand signatures where they can like show emotion with their faces and stuff while they do it. And it's all used to convey, like, really fucking cool art. Really, really cool communication method. Alright, back to beautiful Balmora. We're going to check on something, because we changed load orders, so that can always cause some issues, right? So we want to make sure there's none of that. So there's a couple of problem spots I want to pop my head in before we head to Caius and ask for our first quest. And in particular, it's always got to be this. It's the Balmora Temple. It is always the problem area because this is an additional add-on of an add-on of an alteration. So if anything's fucked up, it's going to be this. This is like four mods removed. Yep, okay, and we're good to go. We're going to paint this real quick because I think that's a really cool painting. Check this shit out, guys. All right, let's draw, ink sketch. And that came out just about perfect. We're going to play with the brightness a little bit. No, we're going to bring brightness down a little bit, maybe 48. No. 50's fine. Let's play with the contrast then. Let's fucking go, Swift Tubers. What's going on, Austin? Oh, there's a night. Okay, I like that, but maybe not so high. Let's do that. That is the Balmora Temple. We'll call that Balmora Temple at Worship, guys. And there it is, 30 painting. Now, at level 30, we can actually break out the colored pencils and not have a completely useless looking sketch, which is cool. So I think from his point on, we're going to upgrade to colored pencil drawings. We'll still keep our inkwells, right? We'll still keep our ink in case we want to do some ink, but in general, I think we're going to upgrade. Next time we see colored pencils in the wild, we're going to snatch those bad boys. So, how's it going, Zoo? I'm a bit drunk. Well, there's no better way to be on a Friday. Me too, buddy. Me too. I can still make a few words with my hands, like the word water. Oh, neat. Yeah, because again, like signing out individual, like I know a lot of the signs for like individual letters, so I can letter things out. But yeah, the more complex hand gestures, like you could, yeah, like do water, or like, hey, I'd like a drink of water, and it's really cool. It's really fucking cool. All right, well, we're honoring the chat, Austin. I posted a chat. I left it up to a vote, and they sent me back to Captain Abs here, Skooma Daddy, to start the main quest. So that's what we gonna do. Now that we've met all of our fellow blades, I think we're gonna just double check, make sure no blades have been missed. They haven't. Orders.
Ready for orders? Good. Go talk to Haspat Antabolus at the Balmora Fighters Guild. Ask him what he knows about the Nerevarine secret cult and the Sixth House secret cult. You'll have to do him a favor first. Probably an ugly favor. But do it. Then get the information from Antabolus and report back to me.
Okay.
By the way, Hasfat is a student of Morrowind history. Take the chance to get a little education. And I have a few history books in here. Help yourself. You're welcome to them. No point in being part of history if you're too ignorant to understand it.
What a strange statement that is, huh, guys? So Morrowind history, what do you mean by that?
Jeanette Sitta's little book is a good place to start. I have a copy here, take it. You might also look for On Morrowind, the Imperial Province, by Eramanwe of Sunhold.
Okay. And then he's got a book called The War of the First Council here, which we'll take. And then hopefully we can get another book on Morrowind history from Antabolus, since he said to ask about that. And then we'll read those books and discuss. We can start getting into some lore deep dives, guys.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
I am so fucking ready for this.
What do you want?
Sir?
Looking for Haspat Antabolus, but I don't think you look like a Haspat, so... Are you Haspat?
Welcome, adventurer. Looking for an equalizer? Something to give you an edge against a superior opponent? When you need to do a lot of damage in a hurry, you can't beat a poisoned blade. Try my inexpensive iron spider dagger and steel spider blade, or an imperial netch blade for even more bite.
No, I think we're good, buddy, but thanks. Ah, you must be Haspat.
What, stranger? Good day. So you're with Caius, eh? And Caius wants information? Of course, there's a this for that involved. I require a favor first, and then I'll tell you what you want to know.
Of course. Well, before we start, I was supposed to ask you about Morrowind history. Be right back in a minute. Cool. Cool. Take your time, man. Go get something else to drink. Go refill, right? Rock and reload.
I won't bore you blathering about history. That's what Caius is for. But if you're really interested, try On Morrowind, the Imperial Province, by Eramanwe of Sunhold. I have an extra copy you can have. What an adventurer like you really needs is a sense of current events. Who hates who? Where's trouble brewing? That's where opportunity lies for an outlander like you.
I don't disagree, but tell me about the current events then.
The great houses hate each other. Theft, murder, assassination, secret raids, standard stuff. The temple is trying to kill off a rebellious faction called the Dissident Priests. Ashlander nomads raid each other, attack traders and pilgrims. A secret cult is killing off imperial citizens, all bad enough. The real problem, though, is the blight, monsters and diseases. The natives say it comes from Red Mountain. It's been a local problem for years, but lately it's gotten badly out of control.
Yeah, seems that way, man.
When we understand the events that occur to us, the events become history. History is understanding. Otherwise, we're all just dumb animals trying to get in out of the cold.
Okay. And I'm guessing you're not going to tell me about the Nerevarine or the Sixth House, right?
You have a favor to do first? Then we can talk about the Nerevarine.
And the Sixth House?
You have a favor to do first. Then we can talk about the Sixth House.
So what if I were to want to join the Fighters Guild, Haspet? Can you tell me about it? Because once we get done with this quest, we're probably going to join.
Yes, this is the Fighters Guild. Idis FireEye is the steward. Talk to her if you're thinking of joining the Fighters Guild.
Okay. So about this favor, man. There are Dwemer ruins nearby called Arknatan. I need you to run over there and find me a little cube with a circular design and some symbols on one side. It's called a Dwemer puzzle box. Bring me back the Dwemer puzzle box, and I'll tell you what you want to know. Fair warning, you are not the first to come to me for this. Not the first? Yes, that's right. A buoyant armiger came to me looking for information, and I gave her the same answer. If I had known Caius was sending you here, I would have seen her off. Last I heard, she was still at the South Wall Corner Club, so you better get moving. Her name is Arvesa Nadrum. And the favor is...
As I said, get me the Dwemer puzzle box from Arknatan, and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Okay, and tell me about Arvesa. I don't know much about her other than she is a buoyant armiger. Quite young and just a bit abrasive. I encourage you to seek her out and come to a deal for the puzzle box. You may also learn something. And that's all you want is the puzzle box?
The little cube I'm looking for is about the size of a fist, maybe a little bigger. It will be made of a coppery metal with a circular design and symbols on one side and some lined marks on the other sides. That's all I want, that little cube.
Okay.
The old Dwemer ruins at Arknatan are extensive on the surface and underground. Head south out of town past the Siltstrider port, then cross bridges east over the Odai River. At the signpost, head north towards Caldera. Immediately on the right, see a signpost for Molag Mar. Turn right and head uphill on an old road to cross an ancient Dwemer bridge over Foyada Mamea.
Yeah, I've seen the ruins. Man, I know where they're
Arknatan
at.
is on the east side of the Foyada, south of the bridge. Turn a crank on a pipe nearby to open the doors.
Sounds good. We'll be back to talk about history, too. Can you tell me about Foyadas? I've always been kind of curious.
Foyada means fire river in the native Ashlander language.
Okay.
The deep ash-dark ravines which run down from the Red Mountain volcano are called Foyada. The lava from Red Mountain is very fluid, and it runs almost like water. And during an eruption, fire rivers run down the mountain, clearing the ravines of vegetation. Because they have good footing, are clear of brush, and run long distances, the natives use them like roads.
Very cool. All right, chat. Before we go to Arvesa, we've got some reading to do. We've been putting this off for a little bit, but I think now is the time. Since our boss specifically said it's time to get really acquainted with the history. So we're going to start in no particular order. Boy, we need to return that tax return, don't we? That needs to go back to Socius next time. We'll need to hold on to that shit. So let's take a look and let's learn a little bit about the island we're on, right? So this is Vardenfell, kind of a little smushed version of Vardenfell. And it's got the major cities, Vivek. Seydanine is not a major city, but that's really funny. Molag Mar, Sadrat Mora, Balmora, Aldrune, Dagenfell. Okay. Morrowind is the northeast most province of the Tamrielic Empire, bounded on the north and east by the Sea of Ghosts, on the west by Skyrim, on the southwest by Cyrodiil, also known as the Imperial Province, and on the south by Blackmarsh, also known as Argonia. Vardenfell District encompasses Vardenfell Island, a great landmass dominated by the gigantic volcano Red Mountain, and cut off from mainland Morrowind by the surrounding inner sea. Only recently open to settlement and trade, most of the island's population is confined to the relatively hospitable west and southwest coast, centered on the ancient city of Vivec and the old Great House district centers at Balmora, Aldruin, and Sadrith Mora. The rest of the island is covered by hostile desert wastes, arid grasslands, volcanic badlands, and thinly populated by the nomadic Ashlander tribes. Vardenfell has 9 basic geographic regions, each with their own distinctive plants and terrain features. Scholars have based their classifications on the different types of land described by the native Ashlanders, so the designations are recognized by most local traders, travelers, and adventurers. These geographic regions are called the Ascadian Isles, the Ashlands, Azura's Coast, the Bitter Coast, the Grazelands, Malaga Mer, Red Mountain, the West Gash, and Sheogorath. So where we're at right now is the Ascadian Isles, right? Ascadian Isles is a region of lush, green, well-watered southern lowlands where most of Vardenfell's agriculture is found. The area includes Pelagiad Surin, Vivec City, and Old Satha, along with the inland lakes and waterways of the Ascadian Isles proper. The urban areas of Vivec and Ebonheart of the southern coast are densely populated. The inland Ascadian Isles are dotted with small farms and large plantations. The climate is temperate and comfortable with moderate rainfall. Ebonheart is the seat of imperial government for Vardenfell District and a busy center of maritime trade. Castle Ebonheart is the home of Duke Vadim Drin, the district's ruler and emperor's representative. Also located at Castle Ebonheart are the Vardenfell District Council Chambers and the Hawkmoth Legion Garrison. The officers' docks and warehouses of the East Empire Company are also found in Ebonheart. Vivec City is the largest settlement on Vardenfell and one of the largest cities in the east. Each of the great cantons is the size of a complete town. The High Fane and Palace of Vivec are visited by hundreds of tourists and pilgrims daily, and citizens flock to the arena for entertainment and war games. Outlanders mostly confine themselves to the foreign canton, while natives live, work, and shop in the Great House compounds and residential cantons. Old Satha is a splendid Daedric ruin within sight of Vivec City. Though exotic and picturesque, it is a dangerous site haunted by old magics, dark cultists, and their Daedric summonings, and not recommended for sightseers. Saran is the agricultural village in the northeastern corner of the fertile Ascadian Isles regions. 2 popular pilgrimage sites are nearby, the Fields of Kumu and the Shrine of Molag Bal. Pelagiad is a newly chartered imperial village between Balmora and Vivec City on the western edge of the Ascadian Isles region. Village is right outside the Imperial Legion garrison at Fort Pelagiad, and the houses and shops are built in the Western Imperial style, and Pelagiad looks more like a village in the Western Empire than a Morrowind settlement. So we'll read a little bit about that. We also want to read, well, we won't read any further because we're not going there yet, but we'll continue to make that guide and a go-to for our discussions as we go to these different regions, right? Now let's also take a look at some of the books that we have. So we've got On Morrowind. On Morrowind says, after the conquest of Hammerfell, Imperial legions massed along the northeastern borders of Cyrodiil, and invasion fleets prepared in Skyrim. Initially, though the Imperial legions and navy were widely considered undefeatable, House Endoriel and the Temple hierarchy proposed to resist to the death. Redoran and Dres stood by Endoriel, with Telvanni remaining neutral. Halalu proposed accommodation. Contrived border incidents in Blackmarsh ended inconclusively, but the swampy terrain did not favor Legion and Navy coordination. Against the Legions massed west of Silgrad Tower and Kraganmore, and the Legions west of Blacklight and Cormaris View, Morrowind had pitifully small militias stiffened by small companies of Redoran mercenaries and elite units of house nobles and temple ordinators and armigers. Further complicating matters was the refusal of Endoril, Dres, Halalu, and Telvanni to garrison the western borders. Endoril and Dres proposed, rather than defend the western border, instead to withdraw to the interior and fight a guerrilla war. With Halalu advocating accommodation and Telvanni remaining neutral, Redoran therefore faced the prospect of standing alone against the Empire. Jesus. Not good. The situation changed radically when Vivek appeared in person in Vivek City to announce his negotiation of a treaty with Emperor Tiber Septim, reorganizing Morrowind as a province of the Empire, but guaranteeing all rights of faith and self-government. A shocked temple hierarchy, which apparently had not been consulted, greeted the announcement with awkward silence. Endoril swore they would resist to the death with the loyal support of Dres, while Redoran, grateful for a graceful excuse to avoid facing the legions unsupported, now joined with Halalu in welcoming the agreement. Telvanni, seeing which way the wind blew, joined with Halalu and Redoran in supporting the treaty. Nothing is known of the circumstances of the personal meeting between Septim and Vivek, or where it took place, or the preliminaries which must have preceded the treaty. The public reason was to protect the identities of the agents involved. In the West, speculation is centered around the role of Zurin Arctis in brokering the agreement. In the East, rumors suggest that Vivek offered Numidium to aid in the conquest of the Altmer in Somerset Isle in return for significant concessions to preserve self-rule, house traditions, and religious practices in Morrowind. The Lord High Counselor of the Grand Council in Endoril refused to accept the treaty and refused to step down. He was assassinated and replaced by a Halalu. House Lalu took the opportunity to settle some old scores with House Endoril, and a number of local councils changed hands in bloody coups. More blood was shed in these inter-house struggles than against the Imperial legions during Morrowind's transition from an independent nation to a province of the Empire. The generals of the Legion had long dreaded an invasion of Morrowind. The Dunmer were widely regarded as the most dreadful and fanatic foes, further inspired by their temple and clan traditions. The generals had not grasped the political weakness of Morrowind, which Emperor Tiber Septim recognized and exploited. At the same time, given the tragic depopulation and destruction experienced by the other provinces conquered by Septim, and the swift and efficient assimilation of Morrowind into the imperial legal systems and economy, with a relatively small impact on lower and upper classes of Morrowind's citizens, the tribunal also deserves some credit for recognizing the hopelessness of Morrowind's defense and the chance of gaining important concessions at the treaty table by being the first to offer peace. By contrast, many imperial nobles chose to commit suicide rather than submit to the empire, with the result that the house was significantly weakened during the period of transition, guaranteeing they would lose much of their influence and power to House Halalu, whose influence and power was waxing with its enthusiastic accommodation with the empire. The temple hierarchy more skillfully managed their loss of face, remaining aloof from political struggles and earning the goodwill of the people by concentrating on their economic, educational, and spiritual welfare. Well, that was interesting. So that was basically an imperial account. So you got to remember this, okay, guys? Whenever we do deep dives into Morrowind lore, all of these are what you call unreliable narrators. So these are all written with a bias in mind, the bias of the author, in this case, an imperial historian, okay? But that said, it does give us at least one bird's eye view of what was happening back in the war of Morrowind versus the Empire and the way that treaty was signed. But what did we learn from this, okay? So we learned that House Endoril has diminished in scope, which is why you're going to see a lot less of them. And when we get to the mainland, it's going to explain some of the problems that we see when we go questing on the mainland, right? It also explained why House Halalu is so resurgent right now, because they were one of the few that that wanted to accommodate the Empire from the start. And we also understand that Morrowind was able to preserve much of their self-rule because of something that Vivek gave Tiber Septim. Now, we don't know what that is, but both sides wanted to avoid a war. The Empire didn't want to fight in Morrowind, and Morrowind knew that they would probably lose to the Imperial Legionnaires, the Navy, and the Dragons, right? Because here's the other thing. Like, the Third Era Empire has dragons. It literally has dragons. That especially back then, that were loyal to Tiber Septim. So that was an interesting account. So we know a little bit about that now, which is cool. Got to take what we learned with a grain of salt, though? Absolutely. Because look at the author, right? Ahriman Way of Sunhold. Ahriman Way of Sunhold is going to be a historian that's just looking at it largely from imperial sources based on the writing, right? So next one we want to look at is the War on the First Council, right? That's the next one we want to take a quick peek at. Okay, this is another account by an imperial historian, Agrippa Fundilius, and is based on various imperial and Dunmer sources and written for Western readers. So that's important too here, right? I have heard and seen that the Switch 2 has been revealed. It has, Brooke. It kind of revealed to me with a wet fart, though. I'm not super excited about what I saw, I'll be honest with you. Because what the fuck did we see? We saw the system, right? Now, April is going to be a different story. That's probably when you'll see me geek the fuck out with the games announcements and kind of learn a little bit more about the system itself. But all we know now is it has the Switch 2 logo, which I'm not really crazy with. It also makes us call the Switch the Switch 1, so it really, not that Nintendo cares because they're moving on, but it really undercuts the Switch marketing, right? You know what I'm saying? Because now we got to call the Switch 1, instead of just be the snappy Switch, now we have to call it the Switch 1 or the OG Switch, and right? But number 2, the only other thing we know is that it plays most physical games, which that's going to be huge for me. I need to know, what do they mean by that? Do they mean there's going to be odd one-offs like Ring Fit Adventure? If that's the case, then that's fine. But if it's lots and lots of games end up being like, we can't make it work, it's going to be a problem because I got a lot of games, right? Okay, anyway, so Agent 1W says, welcome to the HIST 3610 class. Agent 1W says, history of Morrowind to second era. Nice. And then Brooke Barnes says, backwards compatibility. Yeah, for the most part, they said most games are going to be backwards compatible. But again, what does that mean? Like, that's a very open statement, right? Especially when you're like me and you have like fucking 400 Switch games, right? I need help with the Switch. I am absolutely need some help with my Nintendo Switch physical buying problem. So anyway, so we're going to move on to here. We got another source that's based on a Imperial Scholar for Western readers, and that's important. Anytime you identify and you're looking at a book, you can't consider any of these to be anything but the bias of the author, and so you kind of have to piece it together from different accounts and different biases, right? Like real history. That's part of what I fucking love this game about. So the War of the First Council was a first-stage religious conflict between the secular Dunmer houses Dwemer and Dagoth. So already, people who are initiated in Morrowind lore know this is bullshit. We already know this is a bullshit account. Now, my character doesn't necessarily know that, but us talking in the chat, we know that's horseshit. Like, for one, House Dwemer, that's not a thing. That we know that's not a thing. Dwemer were an entirely different people. So this is a very confused account right off the bat. Right? And the Orthodox Dunmer houses in Doril, Redoran, Dres, Halalu, and Telvanni? What the fuck is Orthodox about Telvanni? So what do they mean by Orthodox in this account, right? Well, Orthodox means on one side of the war. So they're breaking it down for their Western readers very easy. Succinct, easy. You have the Orthodox houses that supported Nerevar. You have the unorthodox houses, including House Dwemer, that did not support Nerevar. And we know that's probably bullshit, right? Anyway, the First Council was the first Pan-Dunmer governing body, which collapsed over disputes about sorceries and enchantments practiced by the Dwemer and declared profane by the other houses. So again, Dwemer weren't a house. The Dwemer were a people there that Nerevar signed a treaty with their king, right? The secular houses, less numerous but politically and I'm guessing there was a Dwemer remnant in the land. Yes, absolutely, Agent 1W. I wonder what Nintendo will put out next on the Switch 2. How will they expound on Smash 4, Mario Odyssey, the new Zelda, etc.? I think the new Zelda, I think you will see decline from the sales of Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think Tears of the Kingdom did the job Nintendo needed it to do. Now, Mario Odyssey was the first 3D Mario to be a guaranteed system seller. It worked. It sold a lot of systems. I can't, even as a 3D Mario disliker, at least until Odyssey, I love Odyssey. I can't even argue with the impact and effect of Super Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey was great. It sold a lot of systems. Smash, I think Smash will sell no matter what they do, but the question is, will it sell as much as Smash Ultimate, and how do you improve on Ultimate? I have some ideas. You could give it a real story content. You could give it like better online multiplayer, but if anybody knows how to crack that nut, it'll be Nintendo. But I think that most of Nintendo's games, take a look at Mario Kart, right? Yes, a new Mario Kart's exciting. Yes, it's cool, but the question becomes, there was something shown of Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart, exactly. But the question becomes, how do you move on 60 plus million customers who already think Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is good enough? How do you move those people on, not only make them buy new hardware, but also get them off the game that they play? I mean, it's going to be hard. I don't think you're going to get one for one on that. And so I do think that the Switch 2 overall will be a pretty significant sales decline from the Switch 1. You also pair the fact that we're going into geopolitical turmoil, more tumultuous times, and we are going into bad macroeconomic headwinds. And I think Nintendo knows that, which is why they chose to do a sustaining innovation over a disruptive innovation, right? So I think Nintendo is kind of scared of this transition. I think they're being very conservative. I think it's the right move, but it doesn't impress me as of right now. But April's coming. Hopefully they can show me something that wows me, right? I'm a Nintendo fan, man. I'm a Nintendo fan. I want to believe, but it's just, I don't know. I like my Switch. I think my Switch is good enough, and it's going to be really hard to move me off that hardware. I really like the Switch. So the secular houses, which again, I already don't like this framing here, guys. The secular houses, less numerous, but politically, there's nothing secular about House Dagoth. Nothing secular, if you know anything about the house. And again, the Dwemer aren't a house. The Dwemer are their own people. And magically more advanced and aided by Ord and Nort clans drawn by promise of land and booty. That is true, right? Initially campaigned with great success in the north of Morrowind and occupied much of the land now comprising Redoran, Vardenfell, and Telvanni district. Once again, the Dwemer were already there. So Vardenfell is literally the home of the Dwemer. That's literally their home. So they didn't campaign and conquer there. Like, no, the Chimer showed up, which these are the Chimer at this point. They're not even the Dunmer, so they got that wrong too, by the way. Because they're calling these people Dunmer. At this time, these are the Chimer. And so the Chimer showed up with the Prophet Veloth into Resdain and Morrowind, right? The Dwemer were already fucking there. Switz, please kill me. Had a rough day managing the restaurant tonight. Ooh. Not fun. So I would suggest you grab a good drink, grab strong drink, settle in, and join in the Rancor while we discuss the Nintendo Switch 2 and bad Morrowind history writing, Agrippa Fundilius. Austin writes, says, I actually don't play Switch much, but I've been betting back into Smash Brothers recently. What are your favorite characters? Have to be back in 8 hours. Fuck. Ooh. God damn it, man. Oh, I feel for you. Hey, S tiers in the chat. Put S's in the chat for Pyritosis. Let's wish him a swift end to tomorrow's schedule, guys. We all know how that is to have that kind of work have to do. Yeah, fuck that, man. S's in the chat for Pyritosis. Yeah, everybody wish Pyritosis well. That sucks. All right, continuing on with this bad history book, because this is bad history. I'm actually really analyzing this for the first time. Guys, this is bad fucking history, man. This is such bad history, this book. Like, Caius ought to be ashamed to have this in his house as a spy master. Let's see here. Occupied much of the land. So occupied. No, they were there. They were already there, bro. So, Redoran, Vardenfell, and Telvanni district, the Orthodox houses, widely dispersed and poorly organized, suffered defeat after defeat until Nerevar was made general of all house troops and levies. Also not true. There wasn't even a war before Nerevar was the Hortanor. Nerevar was already Hortator when the War of the First Council started. This is just bad history, man. Nerevar secured the aid of nomad barbarian tribesmen and contrived to force a major battle at the secular stronghold of Red Mountain on Vardenfell. True. The secular forces were outmaneuvered and defeated with the help of Ashlander scouts, and the survivors forced to take refuge in the Dwemer stronghold at Red Mountain. If take refuge, you mean that was already their key stronghold. That was where King Dumak Dwarfor made his home. Okay? After a brief siege, treason permitted Nerevar and his troops to enter the stronghold, where the secular leaders were slain and Nerevar mortally wounded. General slaughter followed, and houses Dwemer and Dagoth were exterminated. Again, not entirely true. That's a half-truth, right? Nerevar died shortly thereafter of his wounds. 3 of Nerevar's associates among the Orthodox houses, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sathasil, succeeded to control of the recreated First Council, renamed it the Grand Council of Morrowind, and went on to become the God Kings and immortal rulers of Morrowind, known as the Tribunal or Almsevi. Okay. Yeah, that was a nightmare to somebody who actually studies Morrowind history. That was a fucking nightmare. So we've read a short history of Morrowind. Well, short history of Morrowind is the last one to read. And this is by somebody named Jeanette Sitt, right? So from the introduction, so it looks like we're only getting the introduction to this book. And let's see. Yeah, this isn't too bad. We'll read this too. And then we've got our crash course on bad Morrowind history, right? But let's see how this one does. That last book was one of the worst things I've ever read in my fucking life. From the introduction, led by the legendary prophet Veloth, the ancestors from the Dunmer, exiles from Altmer cultures in present-day Somerset Isle, came to the region of Morrowind. In earliest times, the Dunmer were harassed and dominated by Nord Sea Raiders. When the scattered Dunmer tribes consolidated into the predecessors of the modern Great House clans, they threw out the Nord oppressors and successfully resisted further incursions. This is good so far. But Switz, Caius has it in his house because he's a spy master. Isn't it a psyop? Sorry, Caps. Oh, okay. Yeah, it could be. Could be, but I mean, they're trying to recreate the Nerevarine prophecies, so. Right, he died of his wounds. I know, man. That book made me so mad. If anybody couldn't tell. The ancient ancestor worship of the tribes was in a time superseded by the monolithic tribunal temple theocracy, and the Dunmer grew into a great nation called Resdayn. Resdayn was the last of the provinces to submit to Tiber Septim. Like Blackmarsh, it was never successfully invaded, and it was peacefully incorporated by treaty into the Empire as the province of Morrowind. Okay, so let's talk about this. So one, got some bad history here, right? Number one, Morrowind was not the last nation to be brought into the Empire. That was Somerset Isles, number one, okay? Number two, that's true that Blackmarsh was never successfully invaded, but that's not what happened. They weren't never peacefully incorporated. What happened is a few of the settlements along the coast were declared as being the Empire, and they literally just left the rest of the fucking shit alone, right? And so most of Blackmarsh is actually still autonomous and completely doesn't even recognize Imperial rule. But they do control the key settlements on the coast and on the rivers, right? But they still haven't conquered Blackmarsh's interior. So one could argue that Blackmarsh is still not incorporated entirely into the Empire, and Somerset Isle came after Morrowind, right? So let's see. Dagoth did nothing wrong. So Pyritosis, what I would tell you is, I agree. Back in the first era, Dagoth did nothing wrong. But do we mean to say Dagoth in the Third Era did nothing wrong? Come on, man. Dagoth pwns the Tribunal? True. True, 100%. Both suck, but yeah. Here's the thing. Dagoth I find a sympathetic figure, a tragic, sympathetic figure. The Tribunal, aside from Set, aside from Satha Sil, I find nothing tragic about them, right? But we'll get into that later as the game goes on, okay? But yeah, Dagoth did nothing wrong. I don't know. We're in the Third Era, man. Although you could argue that this is not actually Dagoth. This is the Heart White. It is his consciousness fused with the heart, with the power of the heart. So you could make an argument that Dagoth is not Vorn Dagoth, right? You could make that argument. So you could make the argument those are actually two entirely different beings. Just like Vivek makes the argument that Vivek is a different being from Vec. That is his excuse for how he didn't kill Nerevar, right? All right, anyway, moving on here. Okay. Almost 4 centuries after the coming of the Imperial Legions, Morrowind is still occupied by Imperial Legions with a figurehead Imperial King, though the Empire has reserved most functions of traditional local government to the ruling councils of the 5 Great Houses. Okay, so that's the introduction. Now, on Vardenfell District. So in Third Era, 414, Vardenfell territory, previously a temple preserve under Imperial protection, was reorganized as an Imperial Provincial District. Vardenfell has been maintained as a preserve administrated by the temple since the Treaty of the Armistice, and except for a few Great House settlements sanctioned by the temple, Vardenfell was previously uninhabited and undeveloped. But when the centuries-old temple ban on trade and settlement by Vardenfell was revoked by the King of Morrowind, a flood of Imperial colonists in Great House Dunmer came to Vardenfell, expanding old settlements and building new ones. The new district was divided into Redoran, Hlaalu, Telvanni, and Temple districts, each separately administered by local house councils or temple priesthoods, and all under the advice and consent of Duke Dren and the district council in Ebonheart. Local law became a mixture of house law and imperial law in house districts, jointly enforced by house guards and legion guards, with temple law and imperial law enforced by the temple district by ordinators. The temple was still recognized as the majority religion, but worship of the 9 divines was protected by the legions and encouraged by imperial cult missions. Dagoth is easily the best antagonist of the Elder Scrolls series. You almost want to side with him. You almost can see his perspective, if not for the divine cancer he's spreading throughout the world, right? The divine flesh cancer. Agent 1W says, Dagoth, however, did have ambitions of empire even beyond Vardenfell. He wasn't necessarily satisfied with separating Morrowind from the Empire. Yeah, Dagoth is a fucking problem. That's what I'm trying to get at, Agent 1W. Thank you. Dagoth is a fucking problem in the Third Era. It doesn't mean he's not tragic. It doesn't mean that, he doesn't have a point. Everybody has a point. To some extent, right? It doesn't mean... But that's what makes a good villain, is the fact you're like, dude, I get it. I get what happened to you. I understand. But I can't follow you here. To me, that's always the best villain, right? Is somebody who's like, I can almost get it, man, but I can't follow you where you're going. Let's see here. The Temple District included the city of Vivec, the fortress of Ghostgate, and all sacred and profane sites, including those blighted areas inside the Ghost Fens, and all unsettled and wilderness areas on Vardenfell. In practice, this district included all parts of Vardenfell not claimed for Redoran, Hlaalu, or Telvanni districts. The Temple stubbornly fought all development in their district and were largely successful. House Hlaalu, in combination with Imperial colonists, embarked on a vigorous campaign of settlement and development. In the decades after reorganization, Balmora and the Ascadian Isle regions have grown steadily. Caldera and Pelagiad are completely new settlements, and all Legion forts were expanded to accommodate larger garrisons. House Telvanni, normally conservative and isolationist, has been surprisingly aggressive in expanding beyond their traditional tower villages. Disregarding the protests of other houses, the Temple, the Duke, the District Council, and probably the Empire in general, Telvanni pioneers have been encroaching on the wild lands reserved to the Temple. The Telvanni Council officially disavows responsibility for these rogue Telvanni settlements, but it is an open secret that they are encouraged and supported by ambitious Telvanni mage lords. Under pressure from the temple, conservative House Redoran has steadfastly resisted expansion in their district. As a result, House Redoran and the temple are in danger of being politically and economically marginalized by the more aggressive and expansionist Halalu and Telvanni interests. The Imperial administration faces many challenges in Vardenfell district, but the most serious are the Great House rivalries, animosity from the Ashlander nomads, internal conflicts within the temple itself, and the Red Mountain Blight. Struggles between Great House Temple and Imperial interest to control Vardenfell's resources could at any time erupt into a full-scale war. Ashlander raid settlements, plunder caravans, and kill foreigners on their wild lands. The temple has unsuccessfully attempted to silence criticism and calls for reform within its ranks. But the most serious are the plagues and diseased hosts produced by the Blight Storm sweeping out from Red Mountain. Vardenfell and all Morrowind have long been menaced by the legendary evils of Dagoth and his ash vampire kin dwelling beneath Red Mountain. For centuries, the temple has contained this threat within the Ghost Fence, but recently, the temple's resources and will have faltered, and the threat from Red Mountain has grown in scale and intensity. If the Ghost Fence should fail, and the hosts of blighted monsters were to spill out across Vardenfell's towns and villages, the Empire might have no choice but to evacuate Vardenfell district and abandon it to disease and corruption. Not good. Not good, Swits. Not good. So with that fucking Bible of lore that I just dumped and vomited into all your laps, let's go find Arvesa.
Or get going.
This is going to be a well-read character, guys, so get used to that at times. This is going to be a well-read character. A learned character. I've met Arvesa. That's the fun part. I know right where she's at. Hello.
Speak now.
I hope this is important. Yes? I don't have much time to talk, Outlander. I'm preparing to leave for an expedition, I guess. There's still a few stalls if you want a seat at the bar. I'll be gone soon.
Okay. What do you mean gone soon? Ruin, if you're so curious, I'd rather not say any more. Why are you staring at me like that? Have we met before? Are you Arvesa Nadram? I am. You have me at a disadvantage, Outlander. What's this about? So, Hasfit told me to speak with you. Seems we're on the same job. Yeah. Oh? He didn't mention anyone else when we spoke. Why would he offer it to you? You must have known him or made an impression somewhere. Simply getting this deal took much of my time. I got help from a friend, but we're going to be a little cagey. Does it matter? I was only curious, Outlander. If Hasfit vouches for you, then he must have some faith in your ability. Are you familiar with this place he mentioned? This ruin, Arknatan? I've never been in a Dwemer ruin before, actually. It's all metal and strange machines whirring in the dark, but treasure abound in the sections looters haven't touched. Well, we both need the puzzle box. If we go together, we both get what we want. That sounds reasonable to me. I'm glad you're able to see it that way. This could save us both a lot of effort. Honestly, I wasn't looking forward to going in alone. Even an Outlander is a welcome sight. I just hope you're worth the trouble. So, well, before we go, I have some questions for you. Anything in particular? I nicknamed him A-Hat because of the puzzle box, lol. Yeah, Haspat A-Hat. Is the puzzle box a Hellraiser reference? I always thought so. It's gotta be, Pyrotosis. It's gotta be. I would be shocked if it wasn't. Okay, so why do you need this favor? I need information, same as you. This wasn't my first choice, but I seem to have run out of options. Okay. So you're a boy in Armiger. What is that? I saw that in the readings, too. We're a military order of the Tribunal Temple devoted to Lord Vivek and solely answering to him. Our focus is on the betterment of Morrowind, unlike some others on Vardenfell. And also, how well do you know Hasfit? I hardly know him other than his obsession for history and the Dwemer. Some Outlanders in the South Wall knew of him and took a lot of convincing for them to tell me. Dwemeri scholars are rather tight-lipped for a bunch wanting to unravel secrets. Alright, let's get going. Let's do it. I prefer to head there soon, as I already prepared my things, unless you had other plans before leaving. Oh, I forgot to ask your name. Felvin Narrows, was it? There, now we're properly acquainted. Lead the way. And so it is that we have a companion. Let's go! We gotta drop by Caius and drop the literature off first. It's like 10 pounds of fucking books that I don't want to take with me. Oh shit, I never even thought of it being a Hellraiser reference, but now that you mention it, it would shock me if it wasn't, Austin. Yeah, it seems like it absolutely would be.
Say your piece or stand.
Everyone here stares at me strangely, but they're friendly enough. Last year I did a church lady run, so I started doing all the Imperial cult and temple stuff first. Nice. We're going to do some temple eventually. But I let the chat vote tonight, and they wanted me to start the expanded main quest, my modded main quest. So we're going to do that first. Hey, Caius, just here to drop some literature off, some lit. We're all done with these books, so... I need to get fucking perfect placement, because I'm going to be putting photos on my walls and shit. Believe it or not, guys, I don't have perfect placement yet because I'm a SWIT. So we need to remedy that ASAP, right? Alright, there we go.
We must endure our sorrows.
He's not your friend, is he? I've heard some awful rumors. Hey, Caius is good. Caius is nice, Cerveza. Don't be that way. Caius is nice. But yeah, we're definitely going to do some temple stuff. I've got a lot of temple expansions, too. I really fucking want this ebony broadsword, man. Oh, I noticed you have the hunger, thirst, sleep meters. I never played Morrowind this way before. Yeah, okay, Agent. To explain that, yeah, that's from a mod called Ashfall. And so Ashfall means you have to take a swig of water every once in a while. And I'm going to show you something else really cool, too. We're going to paint when we get to Arknatan. We're going to do some paintings. Here's a painting I just did, if you want to see it. This is Balmora Temple. I painted that, or sketched that. I'm not skilled enough to really paint yet. And here is Vivek Sunrise. That's Vivek at sunrise from Ebonheart Port. I just recently sketched that as well. So, that's the art mod called Joy of Painting. So I've got Ashfall, the crafting, and Joy of Painting. I've also got a whole bunch of stuff for roleplay, so you can choose class, background, culture, belief, and your lineage. That's how I was able to get 192 magic as a level 2 character, right? But it also came with some negatives, too. Okay, so we're peckish. Before we leave, me and Vance need to stop and get a meal. So we're actually going to stop in the 8 plates, and we're going to get a hot meal to eat real quick, too. Before we head to Arknatan. Just to make sure we're fully prepared. We might get some food rations, too. Very important, right? Yeah, dang, isn't that cool? Yeah. And again, I'm all caught up on my first 3 videos. I've got my first 3 videos. If you go to the playlist, I'm all caught up, and I've got all of the mods I used. Links to every mod I used are in the description, right? So feel free to take a look at that. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Hey, what is that mod? And I'll be happy to explain it while we're on stream.
We rent beds, and I have a limited selection of goods.
We're going to be in combat, so let's do a hearty stew, or no, let's do a...
Or a specific place nearby.
We're going to do a agility fortifying tasty stew is what we're going to do. And what's your background, Delana? I'm from the mainland myself. I was born and raised in Mournhold, a beautiful city, I know. But I find the climate and slower pace of life here on Vardenfell much more to my liking. I received a warm welcome here in Balmora, and I like to consider myself as much a native as anyone else. Sweet. One of the better corner clubs, if you ignore the Halalu thugs. They don't waste a moment insulting House Redoran's honor. Oh, she's a Redoran. Okay. That makes sense now. Okay. Why is she so down on Balmora? All right. We got our meal. 4 p.m.
I will listen, Outlander.
We might be pitching a tent when we get done with Arcnatan. It depends on what time. We have divine intervention though, so that's good. That'll save us some time.
Talking to myself like
That'd be a good sketch too if we could get these ships out of the way. Buddy, you are completely out of town, homie. I hate to tell you. You need to get back to town. You're way out here, buddy.
Outlander, but make it quick.
We're gonna have a turf war if you get any further out. You and the Legionnaires are gonna have a dust up. Snowy!
Idle hands.
Oh shit!
Render or forfeit.
Oh my god! Fucking Snowy Granius. One of the books in the Elder Scrolls 3 did mention Thume. President Jimmy Carter met Elvis Presley back in 1977. Man. So when Skyrim came out, I found it fortuitous that I knew about it years and years prior by mere accident. Yeah, we actually, that's what I said. Like, somebody's like, oh, shouting's a retcon in one of my old, I'm like, no, it's not. No, 5 songs of King Wolfhearth, man.
Matsera.
Hey, can you heal me? I'm already pretty fucked up by fucking Snowy Granius. I can do healing spells, restore. Certainly, it may hurt, but don't move. Ah, perfect. Vess, you're the best. That'll work. David Lynch died yesterday. That shit sucks. Yeah, I know, man. Please don't remind me. God. Fucking David Lynch, man. Twin Peaks is like one of my favorite fucking things ever. Austin, Mulholland Drive. He was making some new awesome project that would have been fucking terrific with Aubrey Plaza, like, that he couldn't get funding for. It just sucks, man. Another side comment, you have a lighter Penn Jillette voice. Oh, that's cool. You mean like Penn and Teller? Yeah, I'll take that as a hell of a compliment. Yeah, you got a cool voice. Sweet. I have been accused of having a radio voice from time to time. Yeah, that's what made me think of. Okay, nice. Hey, Arvesa, we're here. Most of it seems to have caved in, but if we're lucky, the areas we need will still be accessible. How are you doing? Well enough. Over 80%. Nothing serious. Okay, so she's good to go. Okay, good. Just checking on you. That's kind. Sorry for reminding you, buddy. No, that's okay. Sometimes we need to talk about it, right? Because, I mean, there's a lot of people that are just devastated by that. And, yeah, guys, if you haven't watched Twin Peaks, it's time for y'all to watch Twin Peaks. I will tell you that. You fucking scrubs. Get your ass over here. Vess, are you gonna fucking work? You gonna do something? There we go. Good job. Perfect. And daggers don't weigh much, so we'll take that. I was looking for one of Jimmy's kids' addresses. I came across photos of him, his wife, and Elvis from 1977. Oh yeah, no, I mean that wouldn't surprise me because Elvis Presley was like the guy. He was like one of the titans of entertainment. Why wouldn't Jimmy Carter want to meet with him, right? Then I've seen a lot of David Lynch, but I haven't watched Twin Peaks all the way through. Yeah, even The Return is interesting. Like, it's not my favorite thing he's ever done, but it's interesting, right? And I'm everybody who watches it's like, who the fuck is this Dougie Smith guy, right? Will always take bread. Oh, don't touch my bread. That's funny. You touch my bread, I cut off your fingers, this note says. Well, you better show up. Better pull up then, buddy. Ooh, Dwarven Spear. Fuck yeah. We'll always take booze, because it's relatively light. And we'll always take Dwemer coins. Door's locked. Boss locked himself in the storage room again. Ask Tylus for the spare if you need something. Alright? So, you can, those who love Morrowind and have played it many times already noticed there's something different going on here. That's right. We are looking at my first dungeon mod right here. And I don't remember the name of it. It's one of my older mods, but I will post it in the description at the end of this video. But this is the first major difference you're going to see here. This is going to require a little bit of exploration in order to make this happen. Damn locals. There's something wrong with this hammer. Thing weighs more than an anvil, and the head bends if you so much as look at it funny. Tell the boss I'm heading down to go find a real weapon. Tired of this junk he gets from the locals. And yeah, we got an iron warhammer, and it has only 250. Ooh, that sucks. Only 250 for durability. Jimmy Carter, the rock and roll president. I love it. Yeah, it's always fun. Can you heal me?
Sarah?
You were using a lot of magic. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make you a healer, so you're going to have to fight martially. So let's talk about your combat. I'm not sure I'm in the mood to hear anything you say. Okay, well, she's going to be a bitch, so she's not going to cooperate. So we'll just let her be a jerk for now. Let's say one of these doors was trapped. Oh, there she is. I knew she was coming. It's not going to get us a lot of money. Well, she don't have shit on her. Armor, hammer. Lockpick. Yeah, not really. How you doing, Vess? A bit bruised, still able. Do you have magic to heal yourself? I do. Let me cast it. Yeah, heal yourself. 100%. Because she decided to open up that door and hit that trap, right? Have you ever played No More Heroes? Of course. Fuck yeah, I have. Oh, that hurt! Oh my god, is that gonna kill me? Oh, that's gonna kill me. Oh no! Uh-oh. Well. Been nice knowing you guys. Good thing we have Kime, right? We'll wake up like nothing ever happened. It'll be like that was a dream. It's just a bad dream, right, guys? Isn't that what Vivek taught us? Oh, I'm having fun. Stop backseating me, Azura Game Girl. Fuck yeah, No More Heroes is great, man. I've been replaying all of No More Heroes games recently. Yeah, those are all terrific. They all have, like, absolutely A-plus moments to them, man. Yeah, those are all good games. Great soundtracks, too. Like, I always joke that, like, the No More Heroes OST is like the OST of my life, right? Alright. Oh, shit. No fucking way. Oh, wow. Okay, well, guys, we're done for the night. It's been 2 hours. It's been about an hour 40 anyway. We're done for the night. That's a lot of rework I have to do. So I will get that rework done. Yep, that's why you save, stupid. But we're going to be playing all weekend, so I'll be going live sometime. But yeah, it's a lot of rework, and when we rework and we get back to Arknatan in that section, I'll save. And it'll be like nothing ever happened, right? But yeah, fuck that. Show them grippers, come on. Yeah, we chimed our way all the way back into... We chimed our way fucking a day back in the past, man. Pray if you get enough sleep. Somehow I doubt it. Yeah, we're definitely going to keep you in thoughts and prayers, man. That fucking sucks. Like, back-to-back, shift-to-shift. Fuck that. Like, here's your minimal 8 hours that we have to give you by law. Like, yeah, big middle finger to those guys. Get some rest, man. And when I play, it'll probably be in the afternoon. That way you can at least get home, get some rest, and you're not missing anything, right? So we'll try to accommodate that, Pyro. But you guys have a good one. Take care and have a good night. This fucking sucks. I know what I'm going to be doing when I get off here. I'm going to be playing Morrowind again. Not open to close. Fuck, dude. God damn. Okay. Well, that, man, that's a shit sucker. I appreciate the lecture. Yeah, that's rough, man. And thanks, Agent. And we're going to be doing this again all weekend. So, but again, I'm not going to put you through all that again. I'm not. I know we could probably cut 40 minutes out of that by not reading the fucking books. But still, nah, I'm not putting you guys through that. I'll rework that off stream. We will consider this a bad kind dream. All right, take care, guys. You have a great rest of your night. See ya on the other side.